Hi, Deepak Bansal here with the Bansal team at Keller William Domain. Today I have our friend Mr. Sharad Agarwal. He does OCI, PIO cars. He's been in this business for long time. So I am just picking up his brain to bring some knowledge and some value to you because a lot of rules and regulations are changing. So we want to make sure it is beneficial to you. So I'm going to turn it over to him. Thank you. Hello, Sharad ji. How are you?
Namaste Deepak ji, how are you?
I'm good. Sharad ji, you do this OCI PIO card. You have been doing it for a long time. Is that okay if I ask you a few questions on this?
Certainly, I am at your disposal, Deepak ji.
Okay. I know I have the same problem. This OCI card, we have when we first made it, and it is on an older passport. Do we need to renew it? And what are the age limits for that?
Okay, the OCI, what happens is if you have got the OCI before 3 years, before Modi ji's visit to Madison Square Garden, Indian consulate used to put the U visa, which is obviously lifelong visa, and then also you get a OCI booklet just like a passport. But now he has done some development, he has done some good things, because every time otherwise you have to carry that passport with you with had U visa. Now once you renew your OCI, you don't have to carry the US passport which had U visa, because now they don't put any stamp of visa for India in US passport. Now only you will carry your current US passport and the OCI card.
And is there any age limits on that?
Yes, it's a small catch they have there, because our appearance changes, because our face changes. So Government of India had decided that if you are applying for below 20 years of age for anyone, every time when your Indian US passport is expired, like before 20, all the kids get the US passport for 5 years only. So every first 5 years you have to renew your OCI once your US passport is expired.
And what are the charges in terms of what are the Government of India charges to renew it?
The renewal is generally $145 for government fees. If it is $45 is for government fees, and if you have lost the OCI card or if you have lost your US passport, then it is $145. And then obviously we work on very bare minimum service fee, because we do the notary, we do the US, UPS, FedEx, form filling, everything, paperwork we do, and the moreover you only have to come to us once only to do the paperwork, and then you get your OCI passport delivered to you at your doorstep.
Okay, so you said you have to do it before 20, you have to change it every year, and then after 50 every passport renewal.
Yes, once you become 20, once you have done on the 20, then you have to renew it only at the age of 50, because again the gap of 30 years change, a big time change in our appearance. And after 50 they don't mind, you can live as long God gives you the life.
Okay, so let's suppose I converted from Indian passport to US passport. Is there any rules or regulations? If you could please explain us what is the surrender versus renunciation? If you could give us some background on that.
It's a very good question you asked, Deepak ji, because most of the people generally have this in mind, that once we become US citizen, what is the connection with Indian passport? But yes, in any country, in any Asian subcontinent, if you were citizen of Pakistan, India or Bangladesh, once you change your citizenship, you have to surrender the citizenship of that country. Like we are Indians, so we have to renounce our Indian passport, and I request everyone to do it within 3 years of you become citizen. If you don't renounce your citizenship within 3 years, then you have to pay the renunciation charges also, plus $250 penalty also.
Okay, I know it's not in one of our category, but people assume that OCI is like a dual citizenship. Do you have any comments on that?
No, it's not dual citizenship. It's overseas citizens of India. Dual citizenship, America has only with 7 countries. And dual citizenship means you don't need visa for India, and Indians passport holders don't need visa for USA, which till now we don't have it. Maybe in later future, our government and US government mutually understand and they do it, then it will become dual citizenship.
So is it beneficial to get a OCI card, or is it okay to have the 10-year multiple entry visa to India? What are the benefits on both of them?
Okay, it's I really love this question, and I generally suggest all the all the patrons, all my guests, all my good customers. Then if you are below 70 or 80, then 100% you should take OCI, because the fees for 10 years visa is $185 and fees for OCI is $295. So if you are already age of 70 or 80, then I recommend generally people to take 10 years visa. If you are young, if you are in below 50, 60, 70 like that, then you should take OCI, so you don't have to get the you don't have to worry for visa again and again.
Okay. And is there any advantages for the OCI? They can buy a property there or invest in real estate there or stocks. Is there any difference?
Yes, you can buy the stock. You have to have demat account. You can buy the property also, but the drawback is only one in OCI, that the day you get your OCI approved, you cannot buy a farmland. Agriculture land only you cannot buy, otherwise you have all the rights. Yes, you don't have voting right in India because you have surrendered your passport. Again, it comes, if you are dual citizenship, then you can vote, otherwise you can't vote. Otherwise, it's overall it's a beneficial.
And a lot of our people have PIO cards for the kids, and they are still using it because they were good for 15 years.
Yes.
Is there any rules or regulations that are changing that you want to talk about?
In fact, Government of India had started PIO and OCI together in 2008. Most of the people, especially our IT people who are smart enough, they got the PIO card for 15 years, and whoever was on H1 or something, they were authorized to get the PIO for their kids. So most of the still people has PIO for the kids, not for adults. Some people, yes. Now after 31st of March, you will not able to use your PIO card. It's going to be abolished. Indian government has already given the extension 4 times to convert it PIO to OCI, and it's like almost $150. It's more better to convert it before 31st of March. Otherwise, PIO will be no good. You will have to take a new OCI card entirely, all the fees, all the paperwork, and all the hassle, as you know, like if you apply for OCI, what you have to go through.
And let's say people are getting US citizenship. Is there any rules or regulations in terms of surrendering their Indian passport, and what are the consequences if they don't do it in the time frame they should?
If you don't surrender your passport, you are not going to get 10-year visa. You are not going to get the OCI. Yes, only benefit you can have is you can apply for e-visa. That don't need your surrendership, or you don't need to renounce Indian passport. But as late you do, Government of India is not going to leave you. They are going to charge you the penalty to cancel the Indian passport. So earlier is better.
So the earlier is better. You pay less fee and the less hassles.
Yes, yes.
And if you have to go in urgent, you should have all these documents ready.
You do.
Okay. So let's say, a lot of people can do all these OCI and PIO cards themselves. What is the difference between doing it themselves or getting it done through a professional?
See, obviously, if you are smart enough, you don't have to come to me, or you don't have to go to any consultant or travel agent. But because we do this work every day, so we know professionally, and more than that, by paying very small service fee to us, we take care of all the hassle. We ease your pain.
Okay, so it makes sense to pay a small fee and be free of all the rules, regulations, and the timelines and all that.
Because we are in the business, so we know everyday changes. Like before, below 20 years, people didn't know, and last 2 months, being Indian, you must know, so many people have come back from airport because they did not take their old passport, which had a U visa. They forgot sometime the OCI card.
Yeah, that is a good point. I did make that mistake myself, and my daughter could not go to India that day.
That's why you have to go to a doctor of the trade.
Right. Now that's a very valid point. Anything else, Sharad bhai, you want to cover that is beneficial to our viewers in terms of OCI, PIO, or any a visa, Indian visa, that the rules or regulations are changing?
I always request everyone, if you can, best thing is to take OCI, and once you get US passport, you should always work on that, because most of the time we see that we have $1 million but we don't have a visa, and we got casualty in India because we all are first generation here. Once you get an emergency, then that time, if you don't have a visa, you don't have anything.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Okay, could you just give your website and the phone number again? So if people have their specific question, they can reach out to you, and if you can help them direct in the right direction, that would be great.
Yes, Deepakji, we are open 7 days a week. My name is Sharad Agarwal, as you mentioned before, and our company's name is SN Travel and Tours Incorporated. Our website is www.sntravel.net, and another website is www.avisa.nyc.com. A as an apple, VISA, NYC.com. Our phone number for New York office is 718-639-9700, and New Jersey office is 732-283-0566. Feel free to contact me anytime.
And what is the time frame in get turnaround for like a OCI or visa if they use the services that you provide? What is the turnaround time? Like if somebody is applying for a OCI card, how long it takes for them to get it?
It's a very good question. If you have already renounced your Indian passport, then it takes 30 to 40 days. If you did not renounce your Indian passport, then especially for OCI, it takes almost 2 months, because first we have to apply for renunciation. And once the Indian passport cancels and comes back to you, then only we can apply OCI. Yes, you don't have to do all the hassle. You will come to me once only. We will do all the paperwork for renunciation and OCI together. We apply once you receive the renounced passport. For visa, it's 10 years visa, and we can do renunciation and visa together. So depends like what you prefer.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sharad ji. It was pleasure having you, and our people will reach out to you for one-on-one, consultation if they need any help. But thank you again for your time.
Sure, Deepak ji. Customer service is our motto, and we are open 7 days a week with appointments.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.